Want to learn different ways to save and build your money tax-free? Stay tuned. Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better. Hello, and welcome back to WorkHARDAholics. This is Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, and today, all right, so we have a special guest joining us today, Carina Thomas. But before we even get into that, I want to share some things with you all about how to make your brand, your business, stand out in the mix of all the noise, the chaos. So we know we use social media, but even that's cluttered. It's crowded. Keyword searches. There's so many things happening. How can you make you and yours stand out? Alrighty then. For those of you who are watching, you may see that I am wearing these lovely Lego earrings. Now, do people normally walk around wearing Lego earrings? As a matter of fact, they do. But normally those are people who are really big fans. But here I am. I am a walking advertisement for a company that I have nothing to do with. And as a matter of fact, this past weekend, I'm not sure when you're seeing this, so recently, I went to the Brick Fair. Y'all know what the Brick Fair is? So first of all, when it comes to Legos, they don't call them like die-hard fans or lugs. Got all the keywords now. They don't call them Legos. They call them bricks. Right? So I got my brick craft. So I got these. I got some other earrings. This whole event is Lego fanatics who are coming out from their different groups all around the country showing things they created. They are a living ambassador for this organization and are paying to do so. So they're at home and they're building life-size buildings. Okay, not quite life-size, but as big as a person, and train sets, and of course, these were made for me while I watched these earrings. And they have like there was a Pac-Man game. There's a whole convention center full of things that individuals have created. And yes, here in Richmond, it turns out there is also a RVA Lug, which is a Lego user group. In case you want to know what a lug is. And I tripped because their location is literally like a block from where our offices are. Amazing. Who knew? So here's the thing. How is it that they can get people to spend $20 to attend, $80 to have a table, even more to be a part of the organization? How can they get that passion, that ambassadorship? It's really all about events. So like for us here at the Women's Business Center RVA, we have our Boss Ladies Who Tea. We have the Empower Conference. Events build ambassadors. Like right now, we still have people who are talking to us about what's going to happen at the next event. Make sure I get my ticket. Make sure I get my information. And when they're out there in social media using those hashtags that you created for your event, when they're out there tagging you with the pictures that they took and that they're sharing with the world, they become ambassadors for you, your brand, what you do, and you paid them nothing. Honestly, they paid you. They paid you to come to your event, and then they're bragging to the world. Once again, we always go back to FOMO, that fear of missing out. They're out there telling the world, look what you missed. Look what you wish you were a part of. Don't you wish they were there? Don't you wish you were me? And they're doing all of this, and every time they're mentioning your brand, your product, your service, and it's free, totally gratis, free advertising and marketing, PR for your business. So the thing you should be considering, you're going, well, everybody makes widgets. Everyone makes the same widget. How do I stand out? Can you host a competition? Can you host, like you can go on social media and do a name this new product piece. Right? So like right now, once again, I'm sporting Lego. Like who would have thought a grown woman would wear Lego? Not only am I wearing it, I got more. I got the magnet to signify the event. And then they even at the event had bingo. I just want to point this out. And they had speakers and events. When you can create that type of buzz, you can create those type of ambassadors and community. And then you don't even have to talk about your business. They'll do it for you. So, wanted to share that tip with you all on how you can make sure that people are aware of you, your brand, your business, and what you're offering. Come up with that next great event. All right. So right now, commercial break. I'm going to come back with Carina Thomas of Everlife Tax Services. Learn some tax-free ways to do some things with your money. All right. Right back after this commercial break. Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA.
Are you ready to level up your smartphone videography skills? Want to learn how to capture better interviews, content, and learn how to edit using Canva? Whether you are a beginner looking to dive into the world of videography or an experienced creator seeking to enhance your skills, then our Learn by Doing workshops are for you. Reserve your spot and start creating incredible videos. Visit powerupvideo.com today. Click Workshops.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
Hello, hello, hello. And today we are really excited to introduce Savvy Women in Business. New segment that we're doing, highlighting women entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things, teaching you wonderful things, giving you all kinds of resources. And we're going to start this party off today with none other than Carina Thomas.
Hi, I'm Carina with Everlife Tax Services.
See, she had to say it because, I wasn't getting it right. I want to go everlasting life and break out in song with Everlife, like battery. Everlife. All right. So Carina and I were having this amazing conversation. For y'all that don't know, I have had a very full life. So at one point I worked for GE Financial Insurance, which was once upon a time Life of Virginia Insurance. So I find this topic very interesting, but it's been decades since I've done anything in that arena. Mm-hmm. So before we get all hot and heavy about insurance, right? And so because the thing she's talking about, I'm sitting here going, okay. And so, because we like to talk about earning your money, keeping your money, and making sure you have a legacy. And all of that happened in a 5-second conversation over here with Carina. But before we get there, I'm curious to know what made you even want to get into insurance?
So I started in insurance when I had my first son. So I seen it as an opportunity because I was doing taxes. And I was like, oh, insurance. Okay, let me try this out because I have my degree in accounting and business administration. So when I got into it, I was like, oh, I love this. So I actually started in auto insurance.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why I started at. And I got my commercial license. And from there, I got introduced to life insurance. And that's when I fell in love even more because I was able to help loved ones protect their family.
And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's why we have insurance to begin with. We're not intentionally just going, here, insurance company, have my money. No, the whole point is that we really are trying to look out for the things we own and the people we love.
Right.
Okay, so Everlife.
Yes.
How did that even get started?
So Everlife, we got started really in 2020. So for the last 3 years, we have Everlife Insurance Agency and we have Everlife Tax Services. So we created the company really to help people who didn't understand financial literacy and who didn't understand insurance. So now we have Everlife Tax Services where we bridge the gap with insurance and financial literacy. Because it's a common thing. You don't understand insurance, whole life insurance. You only hear about term. You don't understand taxes, bookkeeping, tax planning, how to strategize with your finances in order to save money on taxes. So that's why we created the company to bridge the gap with the learning curve that we see.
And see, speaking of the learning curve, I know that lots of you listening or watching, your eyes are glazing over already. You're like, numbers. I don't get numbers. Well, that's why we bring you resources like Carina, so that if you don't get the numbers, you know there's someone you can trust who can. She's got you on your taxes and your insurance. But let's talk. I'm ready. I'm ready to jump in. I'm ready. I feel like we're double dutching. Like, let's go. Tell people, you were talking about I'm going to forget the name already. What type of insurance?
Infinite banking.
Oh, infinite banking. Okay. So if you can, just touch very lightly on the difference between whole life and term life.
Mm-hmm.
Just very quick, for those who are out there going, I'm not sure what I should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just quickly. And then I really want you to jump into infinite banking, what it is, what it means,
Okay.
what it can do.
Okay. So the difference between term life and whole life insurance. Term life is only for a certain period of time. So you're going to purchase it. You may purchase it for 10 years. And once you purchase it for 10 years, it's $30 a month. Well, guess what? In those 10 years after, it's going to go up even higher at the age that you are at that time. So that is very important. Now, the difference between that and whole life insurance is what we call permanent. Okay, so it's not going to change in the cost. And it's not going to change in the death benefit. It's just going to stay the exact same. And you can have it paid up for a 20-year or paid to 65, paid to 85. So that is the main difference. And the whole life builds what we call a cash value, a small cash value, traditional whole life insurance versus term. It doesn't build anything at all.
And we've always been taught to we have some different generations up here. She looks extra young. I look extra old. But hey, and the twain today shall meet. So, but we were always taught. So, like we're big financial plan. You know, we love to follow financial expertise and advice. And so we got the Dave Ramsey information. We got the Susie Orman information, and she's always talking about how don't do whole, do term, and then invest in different. But then most of us are, ill-informed and uneducated and don't know how to invest.
Right.
So when you get into infinite banking, that's taking care of that whole life piece and that desire to invest.
Right.
So dig in for that for us.
Okay, so infinite banking is not what we would call an investment, right? So infinite banking is just how you would utilize the savings account at your bank account. This is your protection. This is where you want to sit your money to grow your money. And then when that investment opportunity comes about, then you want to take this policy, this infinite banking policy, and use that money to fund that investment. So that's another way of looking at it. So infinite banking is where we're going to use a dividend-paying whole life policy, right? Where it's structured for you to be able to have living benefits. So living benefits is benefits that you can utilize now and not have to wait until later. Just like when we was taught with life insurance, hey, we're going to purchase this for our death. We just purchase this in case I die. Well, with infinite banking, you're purchasing it for the now and the later.
So I got some background that you aren't getting. So we're going to start that over for just a second. What happens with infinite banking is that the individual makes whatever investment they're making the first year of the policy.
Right.
And then there are all kinds of benefits of what can happen. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Okay. So let's say the first year they put in $10,000 in the first year within the policy. Well, let's say they want to go and borrow $8,000 out of the policy. And I'm going to ask you, if you borrow $8,000 from that $10,000 that you set in the policy, initially, when I asked you this, what would you say you have left? $2,000. Well, technically, you still have your $10,000 because your $10,000 that you put in to the policy is actually still sitting there growing. You just collateralize your death benefit and utilize the insurance company's money in order to, let's say, whatever investment, real estate or a business, whatever you're doing, you just borrow their money and left your money to sit there and continue to grow at that 5% interest.
We have to pause because really I thought we were going to be done with this conversation, but it's far too exciting, isn't it? So we're going to ask Carina to hang out with us just for a little bit longer so we can give you a little more information so that you all are out there with your heads exploding. All right? So right after this commercial break, we'll be right back. All right, now it's time for fashion and entrepreneurship with Ashley Jefferson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fashion and Entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Ashley Jefferson, owner of Very Ashley and VA Style Magazine. And today I want to talk to you guys about masterminds. So according to heightsplatform.com, a mastermind is essentially a small group of people, generally about 10 members or less, who share the same values, come from similar backgrounds, or have the same goal in mind. The purpose of the mastermind is to provide peer support, brainstorm ideas, and offer a safe space for communication. Today, I want to talk to you about 2 masterminds that I'm a part of, and I want to encourage you to either start your own or to join a mastermind. One mastermind that I am a part of is with Posh PR, the Boss Girl Collective. That is the best mastermind. It actually brings a lot of boss women. We call ourselves the Boss Dolls, spearheaded by Carolyn Calensos of Posh PR. And we kind of, iron sharpens iron. We share our thoughts, we share our ideas, we go through each other's businesses and our strategies, just like a really strong, good group of girlfriends with similar values and goals for their future to discuss business and how we can help each other's business, how we can do better. We keep each other or hold each other accountable through this mastermind as well. Another mastermind that I'm a part of is the Boutique Hub Mastermind. And through this group, it's only for boutique owners. So if you own a boutique, it's very industry specific for me. But in the same way that the Boss Doll Mastermind is for holding people accountable and just trying to supporting each other's businesses, the Boutique Hub does that, but it's very laser focused on the retail industry, which is important for me, which is why I'm a member of 2. I share this with you because I find so much value in having a mastermind. And I think that they are important between 5 to 10 people. Anything more than that, it might get a little murky. But at the end of the day, it is important that you surround yourself with like-minded individuals who are on the same trajectory as you, who hold the same values, business values as you do, because that's very important and is very different a lot of times than our personal values and standards. But also somebody who actually really cares about you and can offer you some sort of insight. Or if they can't offer you insight, they can offer you some sort of support. But if you're in a mastermind, they're going to offer you some insight as well. I implore upon you to find that. Google it. Figure out how you can get a collective group of people. And you need two masterminds. Depending upon your industry, you want to surround yourself with people who are not necessarily in the same industry as you, but who are in parallel industries. So let's say if you are an attorney, in your mastermind, depending upon what type of law you practice, you may want to have a physical therapist on your mastermind. Let's say if you're in personal injury, somebody comes in, they just got in a car accident, it might be good to have a physical therapist or some doctor there because they can evaluate the client that comes to you and say, yeah, you should get this is going to be this amount of money that you should ask the insurance for their healing. If you are a doctor, you may want to have somebody that's in pharmaceuticals in your mastermind. Me as a boutique owner, I love people that are well-versed in social media, but now, and a bunch of other things in my mastermind. I'm just throwing out random ideas for people that you need to have in your group. But you should also have a group of people in your corner who are very specific and laser focused on your industry, because these are the people that can have conversations with you that no one else can have. They are as real and as raw as possible. This is how you have success. This is how you will garner success. There's so much success in collaboration, not in competition. I say this over and over again, and if you watch this podcast, you'll know that's what I always advocate. Collaboration over competition. I'm probably going to talk about this a little more in the next podcast, but for right now, I'm Ashley Jefferson of Fashion and Entrepreneurship right here on WorkHARDaholics. Find me everywhere. Shop Very Ashley.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are back again as we were sharing such wonderful information with Carina Thomas of Everlife
Tax Services.
I don't know why the tax services and I just shoo, but it's in there. Okay, so you were starting to get into the details about infinite banking.
Right. Okay, so with infinite banking, so once you say, hey, that $10,000 that you set into the policy, we actually create them to where you're not putting the next 20 or 30 years into the policy of $10,000 every single year. We structured them so that you're doing it for at least 7 to 10 years. And then what most people don't know is at least at year 6, let's say you put in $60,000, you're already at $65,000 that you could borrow. It's already surpassed what you've initially put into the policy. So that's how that policy is going to continue to grow for you. When you stop at year 7 and you're at $70,000, your policy is probably around $80K, and then your death benefit could be around $500,000-$600,000, but it's going to steadily, constantly increase the same way as if you never stopped.
So, like, for old people like me, millennials over there, for old people like me, even if we're starting later in the game, we know that we are at maturation around 7 years. Is that accurate for everyone?
Yeah, you can do 7 to 10 years still.
Okay.
Because it's initially structured on how much you want to put into the policy. So depending on what you have going on, you may have a savings already sitting to the side and like, okay, this is for my retirement. So I want to see what it would look like if I put in, hey, $20K per year for 7 years. What does that look like for my retirement in 10 years?
And so part of that is that even for the amount that I'm putting into the policy, that isn't necessarily my death benefit. Like that.
Exactly. So you could be putting in $20K, but your death benefit could be $2-3 million. So you see how you have multiple vehicles in one. You have the death benefit, you have the cash value that's giving you those living benefits, and then your policy is growing, and you have the dividend, you have the compound interest. And for most who don't know what compound interest is, for example, you take a penny a day and compound it for 31 days. At the end of those 31 days, you'll have close to $11 million. So these policies give you compound interest annually. I wish it was daily, but it's annually.
That's still better than most. So I want to go back because there's a person, especially old folks, I got your back. I'm just trying to tell you. Young folks, I always say it's amazing that you should start. We were having a conversation just yesterday at dinner. I love the fact that I have a family that we're sitting around in dinner and we start talking about finances. I wish it was the same for all of you all. But anyway, so for those people who are like, well, I'm saving for retirement, I'm risk averse, I hope you do, it's nice if you do, I have $5,000, $10,000, $50,000 in the bank. If you're in the bank with that much money anyway, you're probably not making the best decisions, but that's another story. But like this compared to what I make if I have a savings account.
Right. So it's gonna grow at 5% interest. Your bank savings account is 0.01% interest.
I'm sorry, let's pause. Because you all heard 5% and you thought that was the same as 0.01. It's not. 0.01% is far less than 5%. Yeah, because like savings, even CDs, the return is not that amazing.
No, and it's they don't provide you what you need. These different, what they call investment tools, are taxed. So you have to pay taxes on it. When I put my money into the savings account at the bank, they're going to send me a 1099 interest form. Why in the world would they do that to me if they're looking out for my best interest? I want my money to grow.
Bankers, we love you. We're looking for answers. Okay.
Right. I want my money to grow. I don't want to have to pay taxes on the savings that I put into the bank account that you're using to give out to other people. You're lending my money out.
You're making money off of my money, but paying me to keep my money while you do so.
Making quite a bit of money. So I don't have that benefit. So I want to become my own banker. So infinite banking is you becoming the bank. You can now have the control and the freedom to say, hey, I want to borrow $8,000 and I don't want to pay it back until next year. You can do that. You can create your own terms. You are the bank. You are now in control. You have your death benefit. You have the cash value. You're growing that 5% interest rate. And of course, right now it's a little more, but just to keep it at a balance right now, 5% interest rate. So it's just so many benefits to grow and create your wealth because you have children, grandchildren,
whatever the
family.
Legacy.
Yeah. Whatever you're trying to leave behind. A lot of people, they invest in real estate. They're real estate investors. Well, don't you want to use the same dollar twice? Don't you want to put your money here first and then put it into the real estate? And then, if something goes wrong with the real estate, you always can fall back on your insurance. You got the protection if you pass. Your family got the death benefits. Oh, well, we got a loan we got to pay. Well, there it is right there.
Y'all hear that passion? Y'all felt that, didn't you? Okay, so for those of you who are listening, watching, however you're tuning in, and you're like, I need more information, how do they reach you?
So they can reach us. We're on Instagram at Everlife Tax Services, Facebook, Everlife Tax Services. Our business number, 855-537-5433. And then I'm just trying to think. We got so many social media. TikTok at Everlife Tax Services.
What does an insurance company do for TikTok or tax service? What do y'all do for TikTok?
For TikTok tax services. So we put out information. We have a lot of content. We are constantly informing our audience on infinite banking, tax strategies, tax preparation, bookkeeping especially. That's one of the biggest things when you're a business owner, when you're a real estate investor. You need bookkeeping. You should know what your financials are. You should not know how much money you're bringing in per year. If that real estate property, you should know what you made off that property. You should not have no idea what you made, because if you don't know, then you're failing. You need to know what your financials look like.
I feel like I just went to church. I got it totally. Okay, so tell them one more time how they can reach you.
Okay, so they can reach us at Everlife Tax Services on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. They can also call our number, 855-537-5433. We're on Google, Everlife Tax Services. So everywhere you go, Everlife Tax Services.
All right. You're welcome, people. You're welcome. All right. So once again, we want to say thank you to Carina for joining us today. I learned things, right? Every day you should be learning something. I learned something new. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Me.
Thank you for coming on. And for those of you who can't see, her skirt is fabulous. Okay. Until next time, we thank you for joining us for this. And Carina will be following.
Thank you.
Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. 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 Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.